Harper Audio presents Rosie's War by K. Brellend. Read by Annie Aldington. Prologue. Doctor's Surgery, Shoreditch, October 1941. My mum died young, so I'm a bit worried, in case I've got the same disease. The young woman sat down on the edge of the hard-back chair. Mum was only 33 when she passed away. You look a lot younger than that, and as fit as a fiddle, my dear. The doctor raised his wiry grey eyebrows, peering over his spectacles at the exceptionally pretty young woman settling a handbag on her lap. Her platinum hair was in crisp waves, and her sea-blue eyes were bright with nervousness. She was nicely dressed, and he guessed she had a good job, keeping her in such style. He was more used to seeing women with careworn faces and toddlers on their scruffy skirts, perching nervously at the other side of his desk. Rosie Gardiner wasn't sure whether Dr. Vernon's casual dismissal of her concerns had cheered her or left her feeling more anxious. She'd not yet turned 20, and had a healthy glow from a brisk walk on a blustery autumn day. Or the flush could be a fever. In Rosie's opinion, the least he could do was stick a thermometer in her mouth to check her temperature, instead of just sitting there tapping his pen on a blotter. Feeling exasperated by his silence, she added, "It's hard dragging myself out of bed some mornings. Then I spend an hour bending over the privy out back being sick. It's not like me to feel too rough to go to work, because I like my job at the Windmill Theatre." Dr. Vernon cast a glance at the young woman's bare fingers. In wartime, women sometimes pawned their jewellery to buy essentials. An absence of an engagement ring didn't necessarily mean that the lass hadn't given her fiancé a passionate send-off to the front line, getting herself into trouble in the process. "Putting on weight?" Dr. Vernon asked. "Not really. No appetite, so I don't eat much." "Monthly's on time?" Rosie blushed, wondering why he was asking personal questions like that, when she was frantically worried she had the cancer that had put her mother in an early grave. Prudence Gardiner had seemed to be recovering from an operation to remove a tumour, but then pleurisy had finished her off. But Rosie had only spotted a little bit of blood instead of proper monthlies. "You look to be blooming, my dear. Might you be pregnant?" "No, I might not," Rosie spluttered. "I'm not married or even got a sweetheart. I've never even wanted to—" "Right. I'd better examine you, then, if there have been no intimate relations to cause trouble." Dr. Vernon got up from his chair, gesturing for Rosie to stand also. "Abdominal fullness, you say, with sickness." The muttered comment emerged as he got into position to prod at her with his fingers. Rosie stayed in her chair, the colour in her complexion fading away. Intimate relations. The phrase hammered in her head, and she felt stupid for not having made the connection herself about why her body seemed horribly different. But there had been nothing intimate about that one brutal encounter with a man she'd despised. Rosie's mind wanted to flinch from the memory, but she forced herself to concentrate on the man who'd attacked her all those months ago. Lenny and his father had been her dad's associates. They'd worked together churning out bottles of rot gut, much to Rosie's disgust. But what had disgusted her even more was Lenny's attention. She'd made it plain she'd no intention of going out with him, but he wouldn't take no for an answer. They'd attended the same school, their fathers were friends, and Lenny thought that gave him the right to pester her for dates and then call her names when she turned him down. Rosie had hated her father getting involved in crime, and had nagged him to break up his illegal booze racket, but she hadn't let on that his association with Lenny was a prime reason for her wanting him to go straight. At that time, she'd been a proud, independent woman, a windmill girl, and windmill girls were able to look after themselves, whether fending off catty theatre colleagues or randy servicemen lying in wait at the stage door. With youthful arrogance, she'd believed she could deal with Lenny herself.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?